We are going to get a Game 5. Irene, you said earlier, if it's like a best of 3, we get a best of 5. If Europe gets a best of 5, we get a best of 3. Well, it's going 5 across the regions today for both of them.
Man, I thought this was going to be a 3-0, but the adaptation came in at the end, and Cloud9 said, you know what? We do know how to function under pressure. We are going to just completely go back to the drawing board. We saw them make a lot of changes in Game 3, and then Game 4, they pretty much stuck to their guns and almost did exactly the same thing. And TIP didn't adapt at all. TIP kind of stuck to their guns, and they turned out to be what cost them Game 4 in the first place, Game 3.
Yeah, I think the fact that they picked the Shen and the Sivir right into it again, and the Vayne, like we talked about before, Vayne is a counter to Sivir. You just turn on the ultimate and just chase her down the lane. If you have Bork, you steal her movement speed that she gets. You just chase her down the lane and kill her. And also, Vayne just crushes Shen. Like, all that health stacking just completely works with their W.
Yeah, they had the Shen, and then C9 locks in Vayne, and then they proceed to still lock in Alistar and Sivir. So then Morgana gets paired with the Vayne, and there's no way you're going to stop her with the Elise, the Shen, the Alistar. She's just going to sit there with the Black Shield on and just shoot away at people. You haven't really drafted a strategy to deal with her, even in the laning phase, to keep her down. And then I did like this adaptation from C9, though. The TP mid Diana. So now you have double globals to go bottom lane and spill your lead over if you did create one. They didn't create the type of lead that you would think they would with it, but it still was an option that if it happened, they were able to execute on.
And that TP mid Diana is also something that changed just from yesterday's games versus Gravity, because he was trying to solo Keen over and over again, found himself going down, wasn't using the teleport, but to get back to lane. So we saw that change for Cloud9 overall today as well, that catapulted their play. Saint, going into this game, being a player yourself, now we've seen Impulse fall 2 games behind. What's going through their mind? Or do you second guess your strategies now and try to just go back to comfort? What's happening there?
Well, you either identify what's making your strategy not work in the first place, and I would say that's probably the Vayne. Like, I definitely think that Tip needs to ban Vayne if they want to keep running the Shen and the Sivir. Or you do what C9 did in the third game, where you just completely change up your strategy and, go away from the Ashe, go away from all the things that you're playing, and move towards something else that you've been practicing. So I think if they can ban the Vayne or just change up their strategy overall, they'll be good to go.
Yeah, good news is they get to be blue side, so they can ban Braum, Vayne, and Kalista and drop the Azir ban, because then they'd first pick it themselves and get Gate on that champion.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great first pick.
Yeah, Yasuo didn't seem to work out for Gate there. It seems like they almost just wanted to try and play a takeaway game a little bit, but not as much. I also haven't seen any Victor play coming in here, but again, the champions that are being picked here, like you guys said, counter for counter for counter.
Yeah, that seems to be the name of the game, is find some type of advantage in your lane, spill that over, and try to snowball the game from there. So everybody's just relying on counter picks, right? And when counter picks are banned away, you go with the champion that doesn't have the counter pick available. So that seems to be the strat. Everybody seems to be working out whenever they get that advantage as well.
Saying, I kind of want to press you on where this could lead to tomorrow. Looking at both of how Impulse and Cloud9 is playing, how will this even fare against Liquid at this point?
I think if Tip ends up going through, it'll look exactly like the last time they played each other. I mean, Tip is very predictable in how they're going to play and what champions they're going to pick, and I feel like TL has the coaching staff there that's going to like, hey man, just pick this to go against this, and then you're going to also like stall out the lanes in this way and play the map in this way. And that kind of, I feel like Dom also matches up really well against Rush. The way he plays is really good at countering Rush's aggression, so it lets Team Liquid get to the late game every single time. And like you saw the last game where they threw at the Baron, they kind of falter in their late game decision making. So. And then if C9 ended up going through, I mean, I'm still going to give it to Team Liquid just because I feel like they're just overall the stronger, more consistent team. And I feel like just if you look at the first 2 games in the series from today and yesterday, I feel like C9 has some drafting issues.
Yeah.
Pretty same thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think TL just has more options and more things in their basket, so they can actually change it up in a best of 5, which is a huge tool. But C9, now they've played almost 10 games now, and they will be playing 10 games in a moment. So they've shown a lot of what they have. Do they have even deeper things? And can they just, that's the thing too, right? This is a different kind of concept, is when you have so many things, you have to figure out what is right for the situation. Because they're trying a lot of things in the first 2 games that are not appropriate for the situations. They're almost overthinking themselves in drafts.
And then it was the Vayne that's right.
And they get 1 day to think that over if they win this game.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a very short amount of time. Cloud9 has seemed to do it a little bit already. Between yesterday and today, they found themselves back in what could be another sweep as they're about to force Game 5 against Impulse. Don't go anywhere, because you are not going to want to miss the end of this series. That's coming up in just a few minutes, but right now, it's time for some Silver Scrapes.
The taunt flash or the body slam flash. Can't quite get the kill just yet. Oh, the black shield keeps Sneaky alive for now. Oh, Cloud9 might have just found the fights they really wanted. Another killing spree, the flash away. Gate will not get the damage. He won't get anyone.
压手 P 转正，压手，压手，压手，压手。好，这边，这边。哎，旋，压手，压手，压手。给，旋。
Impact gets the taunt. Impact goes in towards Sneaky, but now the damage is coming back through onto him. Gate gets the ulti across. One Second Nation gets it. A 1-for-1. Shen is down. No Stand United, but there's the knockouts. But there's no Yasuo left to fight back. It's a 5v3. The dream of the reverse sweep is still playing out, and C9 are going to take down Game 4.